For the one and only Cornelius Patrick O Sullivan!
Give it up for Daniel Lucas, guys. Give it up for Daniel Lucas. Unbelievable. There's still a couple of fuckers coming in from the bar, of course, like...
Yeah, fuck him, right? Fucking come in, we'll make our done, man. Fuck him. Who does he fucking think he is up in the fucking main street with the fucking Everyman? Put on 2 pints of Guinness there. Look, come on, fuck him. Fuck him.
How y'all doing, guys? Y'all good?
No, fucking fuck him. No, fuck him. Fuck him.
Come on in there, ye bollockses.
Look, Jesus, come on in there.
My hopes and dreams here, like, do you know what I mean? It's myself. Lads, give it up to the Everyman for supporting live comedy. Unbelievable. And I genuinely want to say, give it up to yourselves for coming out and supporting live comedy. You're the real heroes here tonight. Thank you so much. Give it up for yourselves. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's great. I'm so delighted to be here. Make some noise if you're drinking tonight. Brilliant. Make some noise if you're not drinking at all tonight. Jesus, the same amount. All right. Fucking hell. You're not drinking? What's your hand jobs? I'm not here to judge. But I am around after. This is kind of surreal. No, I'm with you though. I'm with you because I'm trying to stop drinking myself. I am big time. No, I am drinking tonight. That's because I was out last night. I'm going out tomorrow, like. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it is in your 40s now. You have to kind of prepare. You can't just go out willy-nilly. You can't go out like in your 20s. Anyone here in the front row in their 20s? I know you, Sarah. You're off your fucking game. I'm not going to talk to you. The fucking show would never end. Do you know what I mean? How old are you, brother? 26. Oh, unreal. I'm 46 now, man. 46. 20 years. I remember being 26. Wow. Brilliant. So cool. Fucking go out on a Wednesday night, 6 or 7 pints, get a kebab, wake up the next morning, massive erection. Am I right? He's not denying it. I haven't seen my dick now in 6 years, like, do you know what I mean? Maybe tonight. But I am trying, though. I am genuinely trying to quit the alcohol or to try and just go back at it a small bit because, like, I think we have an unusual relationship with alcohol. Would you agree with that? Unusual? It's unusual. Like, I mean, we use it for everything. Absolutely everything. Weddings, funerals, Tuesdays. Win or lose, we're on the booze. That's the philosophy, you know? That's the Irish philosophy. And I think it's unusual, like, you know, no one else does it. And like we celebrate it in weird ways as well, like, you know, we boast about it. We're desperate to boast about it. Like in my 40s, I was out with my friend there, right? Not that long ago, okay? Rough enough old part of Cork, right? A lot of crime, a lot of unemployment, a lot of incest. I was in Doneraile anyway, right? And I was having a few drinks with my friend Eric, right? And we spilt out onto the street at about like 11:30 at night, and it was Doneraile, there was nothing going on at all, you know? And Eric thought it would be a great idea to take off all his clothes, every stitch of clothes, right? And hop up on a wheelie bin and do I'm a Little Teapot. Do you know that? I'm a little teapot.
I'm a little teapot. He was like, I'm a little teapot. Film me! Film me!
So I filmed the cunt anyway, and I put it up on Facebook, right? And do you know what he did? He shared it. And he was like, what am I like? That was his status. What am I like? A fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? And like, and you're like, how old were you when you had your first drink, brother? 17. All right. You're not Irish at all, are you? 17. You took your time. I was 11 when I had my first drink. 11 years, and I'm not even joking, it was really cool. It was really, I'm not boasting now, but I was at a house party, you know? Just me and my Uncle Finbar. Unbelievable. Dancing inside in the kitchen with our tops off. It was great. No, it was brilliant. Like a couple of hours later, his friends came over. They took their tops off as well. Good times. I know it wasn't seedy, you know, or anything, but like we played board games and everything. Like, you've played Twister, haven't you? Fuck it, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. I shouldn't have said that. No, it was actually Father Finbar. Sorry, Father Finbar. That's the PTSD now, like, do you know what I mean? They say I'll have that forever. Something to hold on to. But yeah, I tried to give up alcohol during the pandemic. Anyone here tried to give up alcohol during the pandemic? Okay, all right. Stumbled into a reverse Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, I think. I tried to give it up during the pandemic. The first couple of weeks, do you remember the first couple of weeks in the pandemic? We didn't know what was going on, like, we hadn't a clue what was going on. So myself and the missus took full advantage of that, like, you know. And we drank every night, every single night. Every single night for about, I'd say, 6 or 7 weeks. And thank you, we were dead rights, we were. We don't regret it. And we were drinking, we're wine drinkers. Anyone like wine? Make noise. Great, yeah. And there's 2 types of wine for those of you who do not know. There's red wine and there's piss, all right? And me and Noel, we love the red wine. And we love Dada. Dada? Yes. Saeed, you like Dada? Yeah. Dada, great. Noel had a great trick. She had one of them novelty cups, you know, one of those novelty glasses, and she'd open up a bottle of Dada and she'd fill it right up, right? She's back there now after 2 bottles. All right? She'd fill it right up, okay, and she'd throw it all down, right? And then from behind her back, she'd take out another bottle and go, Dada! 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, like, do you know what I mean? Very bad. It got very bad altogether. And like about 6 or 7 weeks into it, I wasn't feeling great at all, and I went on a walk. Do you know, 6 weeks on the piss like wouldn't do you any good, like, do you know? You'd feel down after it, like you'd be feeling down. But 6 or 7 weeks in anyway, I went for one of them walks, you know, one of them social distance walks with the mask on. Do you remember those? 2 meters apart, outdoors with a mask. Made sense to the government. No one else. But I went on a walk, and I went with Eric, right? And I'm speaking to the men now in the audience, right? If you have, you know, it's tough out there, right? And if you have some problems and you want to talk to your friends. Talk to your friends. Get it off your chest. You know, a problem shared is a problem halved, you know? Unless you know Eric, right? If you know, run for the fucking hills if you know Eric. Like, that fucker has dragged me into so much shit down through the years. Like, we're best friends since national school, okay? Because teacher put us sitting beside each other in 4th class. Like, I was a good boy and Eric was a bad boy, and teacher thought that might make, if we put them together, it might mellow him out, you know? Every single mistake I've made in my life, I can trace it back to Eric. You know? There's breadcrumbs right to him, like, you know? But anyway, I was on a walk with him, and I had a moment of weakness, as you do from time to time, and I opened up to him. I said, Eric, I'm not feeling great, boy. I am not feeling great. I'm waking up in the morning, and all I can think of is, when is it acceptable to open a bottle of Dada? You know? And do you know what he said, right? He was like, all right, okay, yeah, okay. I have a bit of advice for you. And I was like, all right, what's the advice? If you want to give up something, you should take up something else. If you want to give up something, take up something else. I was like, all right, okay, that kind of sounds like good advice. I was like, what should I take up? And he said, have you ever tried cannabis? Cannabis. In the middle of a global pandemic now, lads. In a 5K radius. Like, where in the name of Jesus am I going to get cannabis? I said to him. And he said to me, you're in luck now, kid, because I ain't selling that. Here's a 50 bag for free. And it was 100 then for the next bag, you know? Back to 50 after that. So... He thought I didn't realise that, like, you know, and he was like, the first bag's free. But that was it then. I had my very first experience of cannabis during lockdown. Make some noise if you ever smoked weed. All right, no one from Ballyclare or Killavullen said yeah. Weed. The first time I tried weed, it was during the pandemic, and this is what it did for me, right? I remember that, I got the 50 bag off him, and I remember that night, I rolled up my very first J, right? My very first J. That's what we call a joint in the trade, right? Okay. Rolled it up. Noel was on her third or fourth bottle of wine. So she didn't mind. I rolled it up, and I took a little toot. That's what you call a drag in the trade, right? And I swear to God now, lads, right? It was transformative. Unbelievable altogether. All the anxiety I had in my body just melted off like into a puddle down by my legs. I think it was anxiety, I'm not sure. It smelled like asparagus. But it had other benefits as well, right? It had other benefits, like, for example, food, right? I was 9 stone now at the start of the lockdown, right? That's a fat-shaming laugh now, lads, do you know what I mean? That's bullying, like, do you know what I mean? You're bullying me. Dickheads. All right. Also, another benefit as well was sex. Did you ever hear that? Sex? I'm pretty good at it. Ooh, yeah. I can go up to 2 minutes now if I have a J. And I come twice. But the biggest thing that I found about cannabis, the biggest benefit that I found about it was patience. You would have the patience of Job. I swear to God. Like, Noel worked all the way through the pandemic. She had one of them proper jobs, you know, where she was making vaccines or something, okay? It was important, you know, she told me. And she'd always ring when she was about a half an hour from home, right? She'd ring, I'd answer the phone, and she'd like, can you open a bottle of the da there? And let it breathe. And she wouldn't take a breath at all then when she's drinking it, like, do you know what I mean? And so I'd open it up and I'd put it beside the fireplace and let it breathe, even though it has no lungs or anything like that. And I'd roll up a little doob, right, for myself, okay? And I'd take a couple of toots just before she'd come home, right? And then she'd come home and I would be fully invested in her work politics stories. Were you talking to Breda today? What'd she say? Fuck off. What'd you say when she said that? Patience of Job, I swear to God. You know? And then the pandemic just finished, you know, just like that. And Noel gave up the wine, no bother at all. Ta-da! And I was stuck at the kitchen counter at 8 o'clock every morning taking bong hits off the table. My kids were going, what's Daddy doing? There's no guards in here, is there? These are all jokes anyway, you know what I mean? I literally just wrote them back there a minute ago, yeah. But that was it. Now I'm fully addicted now to the cannabis, you know. 2 years on, you know. I'm trying hard, I'm trying to give it up, and I'm trying hard. And I was on another walk again about 6 months ago, right? Lovely walk over where I live, often going it. And I was trying to avoid Eric because I was genuinely, you know, like he's no good, you know. And I was avoiding all these calls and everything, but I was on this walk anyway, and he just hopped out of a ditch.
Can I go for the walk with you?
You can, yeah. You can, yeah. We were walking away, and I got tick with him. I was like, come here, you're some bollocks, boy. You're some bollocks. Because of you now, I'm addicted to cannabis, you know? And you know what he had the temerity to say to me? He said, if you want to give up something. You know? And I was like, all right, what'll I take up this time? And he said to me, have you ever tried edibles? Edibles. Make some noise if you've ever tried an edible. Just the front row. I'd say you took a few before you came out tonight, lads, I'd say, yeah? You're still at home imagining this, I'd say. You're having a great night now on your couch. They're a different kettle of fish, lads. They're a different kettle of fish. Honest to God, to a new user, I found it really differently, right? If you take a little toot, right? If you take a toot of weed, like straight away you're like, yay. Fantastic. Tell me more about your day, love. First time I took an edible, right? This is what happened to me. About a half an hour later, this is what happened to me. For 5 hours. It's a dosage issue. I've been trying to get the dosage right now, to be honest, over the last 5 or 6 months. I know you're laughing now, but it has been absolutely brilliant crack altogether. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every day. Good fun. Up until about maybe 2 months ago when my mother-in-law came to stay with us, actually. Yeah. Mother-in-law came to stay with us, and she's a great woman. Now, I'm not going to come up here now on the main stage here and diss my mother-in-law. No way. I'm not that type of comedian. I'm not going to make cheap jokes about her. She's a great woman, 75 years young. Like, her husband passed away when she was young. She raised all the kids by herself, put them all through college, ran a business. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman. She loves chocolate. She fucking loves chocolate. She hates me. She loves chocolate, right? Like, if you had a Rolo in your pocket now, she'd be down to you, like, you know? Give me a Rolo. I know, you have it. You know, she's great. No, she's great. She's a brilliant woman altogether, like, you know? Like, and she was coming to stay, and Noel said to me, look, if Mam smells the cannabis, just tell her she's not stupid. She's not stupid. And I was like, I know, all right, no bother. And she said, look, just, she's been around, like. And I was like, oh, fuck it, did you know those rumours as well? And you're okay with that, like? So she came up anyway, and she was staying with us, right, for about 2 weeks. And I didn't want to, be, doing it in front of her or anything like that. So I got up early one Tuesday, right? Early one Tuesday morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? And I made just a little batch, 6 little brownies, as that's what we called them, right? Put them on a baking tray, and I put them into the oven, and then I was just about to turn on the oven, and Anne came in from the back kitchen, right? 5 o'clock in the morning now, right? Do you know what I mean? She knew what she was at, like, you know? All right? And this is how she came in now, right? I'm just playing it down now, lads. She's from Kerry. What are they? What are those there? What are they? What are them? What are they? What are those? Good morning, Anne. How are you? You're looking well. What are they there? What are them? What are those? And I was like, they're brownies, Anne. They're for my anxiety. And then she called me a druggie, right? In my own kitchen, right? She called me a druggie, and she you know that Homer Simpson meme where he just backs back into the bush like that, you know? That's what she did. She was like, "You're a fucking druggie. You're a fucking druggie. A druggie, a druggie, a druggie, a druggie. You're a fucking druggie." 5 o'clock, and I was like, this is unreal, you know? So I put him in anyway, 20 minutes. And the bing went off, ding! And I took him back out. And I put 4 into some Tupperware, right? And I kept 2 out. 1 for myself, and 1 for myself then again later on. And I was about to sample the first one, right? I was about to give it a bit of a sample, right? And the next thing, Anne came back in from the back kitchen again. And she was like... What are they? I was like, good morning, Anne. How are you? You're back up, are you? Fair play. They're the brownies. Remember I was telling you about them earlier on from my anxiety? You never told me they were chocolate brownies. Huh? I was like, yeah, they're chocolate brownies. Yeah. Give me one. No fucking way, like. Noel will divorce me if I give you one of these. Definitely give me one, so. And I was like, no, Anne, I can't. Genuinely, Noel will go mad if I give you one of those. And then she said something to me, and it really resonated with me. She said, Noel's not my boss. And I got thinking, she's not my fucking boss either, like. She's going around the place bossing us, like. Who else is she fucking bossing? Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I kind of had a bit of empathy then with Anne, you know? And I was thinking to myself, if I was 75, right? And if I was in my future daughter-in-law's kitchen and if she was making whatever's in vogue now, like a cocaine Pop-Tart. Or a fentanyl flan, right? Okay? I'd want to try it. I'd want to have a go. Do you know what I mean? My days are numbered, you know? So I said, look, do you know what I'll do, Anne? I'll tell you what, I'll give you half. I'll give you half of one, right? In solidarity, right? And I cut one in half, and I gave her half, right? And I took the other half myself. And I decided I'd take my dog Rover for a walk, okay? And as I said, we've a lovely walk down where we live. It takes about maybe 30, 40 minutes to do the walk. And I set off at Rover. And it was great. I was feeling great. But about 4 or 5 minutes into the walk, I started to feel strange. I had got the dosage wrong. I was coming up very quickly altogether, like, do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, shit. These are strong enough, like. And I've been on the old Cannabis there for 2 years, like. And Anne has never tried it in her whole entire life. But it was okay, because I got into a full-blown conversation with 2 daffodils for an hour. And then another hour later, I made my way home from the half-an-hour walk, right? And I don't know why I'm doing this, because I lost the fucking dog. And I went into the kitchen, right? I went into the kitchen, and Anne was like this. She was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I was like, Anne, are you all right? Are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? I was still a bit stoned. I was having a laugh, like, do you know what I mean? And then she went, let's take the other one. You're lovely. You're lovely. Thank you for coming out, guys. I'm going to do some poems. Anyone here like poems? About 7 of you. Great. Okay. Great. Slow it down, Cornelius. Slow it down. So this first poem is about my dad, and he's in the audience tonight, which is weird. Myself and my dad, we have kind of a tumultuous old relationship, right? Is that right, Pops? Up and down throughout the years, and he's pushing on now, and I'm pushing on myself, and we're trying to mend the bridges, over time. And Christmas, we had a lovely Christmas, and after Christmas, I sat down and I wrote a little poem about my feelings about my dad. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, appreciate it. So this is called Ode to My Dad, and it's by myself, Cornelius Patrick O Sullivan. I'm on Facebook. It's a like page. 11 likes. Take away my family and friend. Eric. Ode to my dad.
Why'd you hate me, Dad?
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a tough one, isn't it? Relationships. It's hard. It's hard. Like this fella's penis. It's hard. I'm just a softie. Big softie. I'm more of a kind of a... I'm not a fighter, I'm more a lover, and I'm not much of a lover either, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, I'm delighted to be here, guys, really delighted to be here. It was a close call on Monday last, our dog at home passed away. Yeah, it was a tough one. He was like a pet to us, you know. Family dog. We had him for years and years, and he passed away, and we all went home and we buried him up the back garden, and we were in the kitchen and we were all talking about our stories, about Rover down through the years. And my story actually was about 12 or 13 years ago. I was traveling the world. I was in a place called Vietnam, right, with Eric. And something to do with a pyramid scheme, I think. We were in hiding, and well, we're a very traditional family, and my mum was ringing me every other day, please come home for Christmas, please come home for Christmas, come home for Christmas, it won't be the same without you, you know? And I was like, Mum, I can't, I'm broke, I've no money, like, I literally have no money. In fact, would there be any chance you could send me over a few quid? This was Eric's idea. And she said, how much you need? I said, would you have 500 on you, you know, 500? So she sent over 500, right? Now, she didn't know this, but Dad had already booked tickets home for me for Christmas. So that money was handy enough, like, for the... Do you know what I mean? She never got it back. But I didn't ask to be born, so, do you know? It's not my fault, you know? I didn't ask to be born. And I remember the crack was I was to stay in the car outside, right? And I'd get a text, and when I got the text, I was to come in, and a big surprise for Mum, right? Sounds normal, sounds great, right? So I was waiting outside in the Fiesta, got a text, come on away in, the coast is clear, right? And as I said, we've a traditional family, big long table, Mum and Dad sit at the top, my Uncle Finbar, my Auntie Tessie. This was when he was training now for the priesthood, all right? Okay, and all my brothers and sisters sitting at the table, and Rover would be in a big basket at the end of the table, you know? And I remember walking past the window, and as I walked past, nobody saw me except for Rover, right? And he was my dog, right? And he just got too excited. He went, and he hopped up onto the table, right? And he started bounding down the Christmas table, right? Right? And legs of turkey and ham and peas and carrots. I remember he put his paw into a bowl of those carrots, you know, and one of them went and landed in between my Auntie Tessie's titties. And and my dad just instinctively went to take it out, like, right? And my mum slapped his hand away and she said, I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! They split up then for 4 years. And I got the fucking blame for that then, like, do you know what I mean? This is called Rover. It's by myself. Cornelius Patrick O Sullivan. Comedian. Poet. Part-time in Tesco. Just the odd bank holiday Monday, lads. They do fuck all anyway. I'm literally hung over the fucking side there, like, do you know? Rover. We once had a dog called Rover, who never knew when playtime was over. He bound night and day, he was frightfully gay, until last Monday, when a Land Rover rolled him over. And he died of a squashed head. I didn't say it was funny, it was just a poem. Part-time poet, full-time comedian. So this next poem is called Galway. Anyone here ever been to Galway? Brilliant, brilliant. Galway's class. It's like Cork on Cannabis. Is there anyone here from Galway? Okay, cool. There's one fella down the middle. Fair play to you. Yeah. I love it. I love Galway. I was up there a couple of months ago. I was doing some gigs in the Ruby Rooms where Tommy Tiernan works out his material, and it was like a great thrill for me. And then during the day, in between the shows, I kind of sauntered down into the town, and I saw a little cafe, and I sat down there, and I was just people watching. My phone was dead, so I was just watching people go up and down, and I wrote a little poem called Galway. And it's by myself. Cornelius Patrick O Sullivan. Galway. Life is different in Galway. It's like a competition to be the person who gives the least amount of fucks. I saw a cafe today that claimed to serve only traditional Irish cuisine. I got their meal deal, a small pizza and chips. As I ate my meal al fresco, I was serenaded by a busking lad with dreadlocks down to his lad. Singing a song about a butterfly that was in love with a moment. It was the gayest thing I ever heard. And I once heard a man ejaculate into my mouth. Not sure about that one.
I didn't mind his dog dying, you know what I mean? But when there was a fella coming into his mouth, it was a bit too much.
And that's a true story as well then, lads, you know what I mean? But it's always the true ones that are the salty ones, like, do you know what I mean? I'm having a good time. Okay, so this is the last poem. So, believe it or not, right, and this is actually true, this day, 12 years ago, the 27th of January, I went on my very first date with my wife. Yeah. Couldn't believe it. She actually said it to me this morning. I couldn't believe it. And it's brilliant. It was brilliant. So, yeah, I met my wife online, actually. Anyone here ever been online looking for love? Only yourself, Sarah, is it? What website are you on at the moment? Tinder, okay. I fucking missed Tinder by about 2 weeks then as well. That's the other thing. Like, I started going out with Noel, and about 2 weeks later, Tinder opened, like. What a fucking balls, like, do you know what I mean? Bad time, like, that's literally my fucking life. Bad timing, like, you know? Is it any good, Sarah, Tinder? Yeah? Because, like, I don't know about you now, but, like, when I was online, right, originally, I was looking for love. Looking for love, right? That's what I was looking for. And I went on a good few dates. Some of them were good, some of them were not so good. One of them was great, married now, 12 years, two kids, massive mortgage. That's so good. So good. Love it every day of it. Do you know when people go on about, I can't get on the property ladder, you're fucking lucky, like. Fucking hell, a big mountain of debt for fucking 30 years. That's what you want, is it? All right. That's what you want, is it? You want to fucking be in debt for the rest of your life, yeah? Buy a tent. So anyway, but there was one particular date I went on, worst experience of my whole entire life, I swear to God. Hair stands up in the back of my neck now when I think about it, And I wrote a poem about that. It's called Internet Dating. And it's by myself, Cornelius Patrick O Sullivan. Is that on? I log on and I read your profile. Wow. You sound amazing. Like a mixture of Angelina Jolie and Jamie Redknapp. Sexy and fucking sound. I feel I must mail you, but I slightly exaggerate to prick your interest. I tell you that I have a PhD in helminthology, the study of worms, and that my hobbies include helping crippled non-nationals to learn sign language. I post up a photo of myself, and even though it's a photo of me in my early 20s, I'm convinced it's what's in the inside that counts. 2 days later, I get your mail, but you apologize for the delay, as it couldn't be helped, as you were teaching blind asylum seekers to swim in choppy waters. Keeper. You suggest we meet, and I agree instantly, but wait! How will I recognize you? You never posted up a photo. You say lol, and post one up immediately. For fuck's sake. I delete my account. Never to log on to plentyoffish.com again. And to this day I cannot look my sister Regina in the eye. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks. It's absolutely a dream come true to be here. Thank you so much. It's amazing, and I have so many people to thank, and because it wasn't that long ago, it wasn't that long ago. We were all inside, we were all locked up inside, and the dream of this was way off in the distance, And I'm very lucky. The missus Noel has stood by me, thick and thin, That's right. I'm married, big time, to a lady. She's got a vagina and everything. Yeah, I've seen it. 9 times. Yeah. Birthday coming up now next week. That's on you now, lads, to be honest. That's on you. But she's great. She's great. I love her. And I was she's a 10. I think she's a 10. I shouldn't really say that. But you know what? I think she is. But you can't say that now. I was actually doing a gig recently, right? The same gig now in that rough spot down in Doneraile, right? Okay. And I was doing a gig down there, right? And the gig was over, and this big fucker came up to me after the gig, right? Big intimidating fella now, right? And he was like, "Come here, boy. Come here. You can't be going around the place saying your beer is a 10. You know what I mean? I was like, "You're right." She's an 8. I panicked. She's an 8. And that actually drove him worse. He was like, "What do you mean she's a fucking 8? You've just told us she was a 10, and now you're saying she's an 8. Huh? Are you a liar? Are you a fucking liar, like? And I'll be honest now, a small bit of urine slipped out then at that stage. Just, a drop. Rolled down the inside of my thigh. And I was like, no, she's an 8, all right, yeah. And he goes, all right, so what are you taking the 2 pints off her? And I was like, because I think Noel's a 10, I love her, like, she's brilliant. But I was backed up against the wall, I didn't know what to say. Do you know when you're like fight or flight, I said, would I take 1 pint off because she's from Kerry? And do you know what he said? Do you know what he said when I said that, right, to the Kerry people? He said, fuck it, that must be hard, boy. Can't be easy. And I was like, we make it work, man, we make it work. What are you taking the other pint off for? And I didn't know what to say, because honest to God, I think my wife is perfect, like, she's a bit frugal. She's a small bit frugal, right? She's not tight now or anything like that, right? We have 2 kids. But she is frugal. Small but frugal. And I'll give you an example of her frugality, right? We were going away on a weekend away not that long ago, right? To, I don't know if you've ever been to this place now. We were going to a place called Barcelona. Anyone here ever been to Barcelona? If you maybe you don't know where Barcelona is, right? Barcelona. Did you ever hear of it? Barcelona. Yeah. But once you've been to Barcelona, you can only ever call it Barcelona. So anyway, we were going to Barcelona, and I said to Noel, I'd get the transfers and I'd get the hotel if you get the flight. We'll split the jobs up, Let's get this done. She said, grand job, no bother. And I got a great apartment right into the centre of Barcelona. And we arrived up to the airport. I'll never forget it. We childminder got for the weekend and everything, and we were flying out on a Friday, and we were coming back at an early flight on a Monday, coming back around 7 o'clock on a Monday. And to save €50, right? €50, €25 each, right? To save €50, we flew from Cork to Stansted. Stansted to Copenhagen. Then to Amsterdam. Back to Stansted to Dublin, and Dublin to Barcelona. We landed in on Monday morning, an hour before it was time to come home. She's fucking tight enough, all right, now that I think about it. Do you know what I mean? But she's great, and she's been unbelievable for me, to be honest. She's pushed me when I've had no faith in myself or anything like that. And I remember my very, very, very first gig after lockdown, right, was in Kerry. Make some noise if you're from Kerry. Who left those pricks in here? We were gigging in a place called Lichtenau. I never heard of it. I never ever heard of it. I thought it was a lesbian ski resort. A fictional town full of lesbians licking snow off cars. I was like, I'll fucking do that gig. I'll walk to that, I'll hop to it. And Noel said she'd come along for the drive, and I was like, that's grand, no bother, we'll head off together, And she was, at the time, she was on a social media diet, so she didn't bring her phone with me, or with her. And I used my phone for the sat-nav, and I'll never forget, we were leaving home, we were full of excitement, full of the joys of life. We were on our first trip away, everything was back to normal, or so we thought. And we were heading down to Lichtenau, and you have to go into Listowel first, and we were just coming out of Listowel. And I don't know what you're like now with your phone, lads, right? My phone died, right? My phone died. And I use my phone for everything. As I said, I don't know what kind of a phone user you are, right? But I use it for everything. Getting tickets to a show, getting a pizza, online banking, wanking, And that morning, I was fucking doing a load of online banking, like, do you know what I mean? And my phone died anyway, right? And we were on the way, and we came into a roundabout, okay? And it was a 4-road roundabout, and it only had one sign on the signpost, right? Luckily, it was for Lickshna. Unluckily for us, it was pointing up. I was like, fucking hell, like, you know. And we stopped at the roundabout or whatever, and we were kind of, you know, we were in a quandary, like, you know. We didn't know which road to take. And then I saw a man walking a dog, right? Old school. Saw a man walking a dog. Big fella, about 6'2", and he was wearing a dressing gown, right? And a pair of shorts. And, you know, the Opel Ireland T-shirt, you know, from the 1986 Irish soccer team. That's what he was wearing anyway, right? And he was just walking around like this. And myself and Noel were just like... Will we go home? So I asked him for directions. That's what I did, old school, asked him for directions. I remember, so I pulled down the window, right? Pulled down the window. And I said, sorry, excuse me, sir, sorry, you wouldn't know where the Kingdom Comedy Club is, by any chance? You wouldn't know where the Kingdom Comedy Club is? And these are the directions he gave me, right? Jumped into a field and started running down the fields. Myself and Noel were just like, what the fuck? You know? I hadn't a clue what he said, you know? But luckily for me, Noel is from Kerry, so she could translate. I was like, what did he say, love? What did he say? And what he had said was, the Kingdom Comedy Club. What a beautiful emporium of live comedy. Why, I frequent the place many's the day myself. And I'm on the way there now. I don't know how we made it, but we made it to the gig anyway, right? With about 5, maybe 6 minutes to spare. And if you're ever down there, there's a great club there, Kingdom Comedy Club, and it's owned by a fella called Ollie. And he owns 3 or 4 nightclubs across North Kerry. They call him the Owl, Ollie the Owl. Great name. I was like, nightlife, you know, whatever. We got to the venue anyway, and he runs out. And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ almighty, come you fucking fair lady, you made it down all right, Jesus Christ, on COVID, there's balls in it. There's the fucking balls. Thanks be to God for the grant. You know? We served away the whole time ourselves, you know? I was like, fucking hell, that's your life story, Ollie. And he was like, and then Noel got out of the car and he was like, who this? Who this? I was like, Ollie, that's my wife, like, do you know what I mean? You know? Mother of my children, the love of my life, you know? And he's like, who this? And I was like, that's Eric. Yeah, it's gas. But yeah, weird, like your man just running off as the crow flies, as the fucking crow flies. You know, these old Irish sayings, they make no sense to me anymore, like, as the crow flies. Who says that anymore? They need to be put out to or like the name of the show, A Bird in the Hand is? Yeah, it's like, how do we know that though? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's all about context, you know? What about if the bird that's in my hand is a blind, flightless sparrow with hemorrhoids, you know? And the 2 birds that are in the bush are ostriches, pregnant ostriches. It's 4 ostriches against a blind, flightless sparrow that's, you know, bleeding out its hole, you know? Context. It's all about context. Keep your friends close. You'd want to be some fucking Egypt lads to be going around the place with your worst enemy, like, do you know what I mean? Isn't that right, Eric? Fucking hell. But I do feel great now. I feel lucky, and I remember when when things got back to normal, right? It went like I was at home minding my kids for the 2 years, and I'll be honest, like when we decided to have kids, I had no interest in minding them. I didn't think that was my job, like, do you know what I mean? I didn't sign up for this, you know. But I got roped into it because of fucking COVID, like, you know. So when things opened up again and I was back on the road, I was doing gigs 5-6 nights of the week, I was delighted. I was absolutely ecstatic, and I went full force into it, head into it, 2 feet into it, the whole body. I didn't think about anything else. I just thought about, I have to get my career back on track. I have to drive it on here now. And I honestly didn't think, so much so that I was in the middle of a midlife crisis I didn't even realize I was having, you know. I didn't even realize it was going on. And it was Noel, God bless her. She's great at pointing out my flaws. And I remember when it all came to a head. I'd say it was probably about maybe 2 or 3 months after the whole thing was back. And I was coming home from a gig in the Cocoa Club one Saturday night. And yes, on the Cocoa Club. And I remember I was coming home, and I drove into our drive, and it was about just coming up to midnight, and I saw a light on in the kitchen. And I knew straight away that there was something up. Because there is no way that Noel would leave a fucking light on. She takes the batteries out of the remote control before we go to bed, like. Yeah. She switches off the Wi-Fi. I'm like, that's a fixed cost. You never know. Them fucking shower in Dublin. Yeah. Everyone's in Dublin, like. And I remember I walked into the kitchen, right? And I walked into the kitchen, and there was 2 suitcases packed, the hard suitcases on wheels. And I was like, fuck. What have I done? Fuck. I knew I was in trouble straight away, like, I knew I was in trouble. So I just did what any man would do in that situation. I just went straight in, I said, babe, I'm fear sorry. I'm very sorry. So I'm sorry. And she said, what are you sorry for? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, I won't do it again. Yeah. And she's a lovely way with words, my wife. She's a lovely way with words. She said, sit the fuck up and shit down there, you shitter. And I was like, sorry, what? Shit the fuck up and sit down where? Is it not shut the no, I'll just sit down. And I sat down anyway, and we're married 10 years this year, right? Yeah. And I joke a lot about myself and Noel, and it's all true, every bit of it. None of it's made up. No, but she's great. She's absolutely fantastic. And I can tell you this, we've probably had maybe 1 or 2 very, very serious conversations in our whole life, you know, in the 10 years that we're with each other, or the 12 years we're with each other. And I could tell straight away, just by the energy inside in the room, that there was something up here, you know. And she said, sit down, I want to talk to you. Sit down. So I sat down in the kitchen beside the 2 suitcases. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she said, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm grand, yeah. Yeah, I'm grand, yeah. Are we all right? I was like, yeah, I think so, yeah. Why are you thinking of leaving? Because if you are, I'm fucking going with you. I'm not staying with the kids. What do you mean, are we? Well, of course we're all right. Yeah. And she goes, are you happy, though? Are you happy? I said, yeah, I'm happy. I am happy, like. And are you happy with the kids? Yeah. They won't go back up, no? Only messing. Will it? No, I'm happy with the kids, babe. Of course I'm happy with the kids. I love the kids. And then she said something to me, lads, I swear to God, if I live to be 199 years old, I will never be as shocked. She said to me, are you happy with the sex? Are you happy with the sex? Now, if your partner asks you that question, the answer must be, yeah, it's fucking great, love. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, every 8 weeks is loads, actually, do you know? Do you have to pull my hair so much? Something like that. That's what I should have said. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I really genuinely wanted to say. But what I actually said was, I'd love a threesome. I'd love a threesome. I don't know why I said that. I swear to this day, I don't know why I said that. It was an accident. I didn't mean it. But then she said to me, I know. I said, how the fuck do you know? How do you know? And she said, because I was on your laptop this morning. Oh. Right. And I was thinking about what to say, you know, and then she said, I've one organised for us. I can sense the shock now going through you. I was like, what? What do you mean you've one organised for us? She goes, look, I know you've been through hell the last couple of years, you know. I know it's been tough for you. You need to park your career, you're minding the kids, and this is something you want to do, and look, we're with each other, you know, the best part of a decade now. And if this is what you want to do, then fuck it, let's do it, like. Let's do it, you know? And I was like, well, if you want to, like, do you know what I mean? Whatever, like, well, yeah, you know? Well, yeah, really? And she goes, yeah, let's do it, like. And I said, all right, son. But I have a few rules. 3 rules. I was like, grand job, no bother. What's the first rule? She said, the first rule is, I just don't want to do it here. I don't want to do it here. I said, grand job. Give your sister a ring, I'll book an Airbnb in Kenturk. Her sister's here as well tonight. And I was like, and she said, no, you fucking idiot. I don't want to do it here. You could fart in Mallow and they'll smell it in Dublin, like, do you know what I mean? We're going to go away. We're going to do it away. I'm after booking us a weekend away in London. We're going to stay in a little borough called Shepherd's Bush. And we're going to tell everybody that we're going to a soccer match. We're going to go to an Everton soccer match. Everton were playing in London the next day, all right? And she had booked tickets under the guise of that. That was what we were going to do. Nothing about a threesome, which I would have gladly put up online. I said, look, I said, no bother, that's fine. I said, what's the second rule? And she said, look, the second rule is I don't actually want to be in the threesome. I said, what? I said, that's a fucking twosome, love. I've had 7 or 8 of them, like, you know? And I've had thousands of onesomes. She goes, no, you fucking idiot. She goes, I don't want to be in it, but I'm after organising it for you. And I was like, what do you mean you're after organising it for me? She goes, I'm after booking. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm after booking 2 ladies of the night. I was like, what? Two ladies of the what? She goes, I'm after getting 2 prostitutes. I was like, what? She goes, don't worry, they're high-class prostitutes. I was like, we can't afford that. She goes, I'm after getting a great deal on them. I was like, what do you mean you're after getting a great deal on them? What kind of a deal did you get? She said, I asked them how much they were. They said they were €1,000 an hour. I said, my Connie will only need 3 minutes maximum. And I appreciated her exaggerating as well, to be honest, you know. I was like, all right, okay. And I said, what's the third rule? So, love, what's the third rule? And she said, look, the third rule is the most important rule of the whole lot. She goes, as long as you're doing stand-up comedy across the country, I never, ever, ever want you to tell this story on stage. And I never will, you know? Not my style. So that's what the 2 suitcases were packed for, lads. That's what they were packed for. And the next morning, we were off to fucking London, right? To go and see a football match, all right? And I never forget, we got up to the airport, Stansted, into Sunderland, down to Birmingham. Just in time for the match. And Everton won as well. Hey, I had to make something up in this fucking story. And we were meeting these 2 girls in a gay bar, right, after the match, okay, in Shepherd's Bush. I don't know if you've ever been there. There's a gay bar ran by a woman from Clare called the Bush Bar, and I thought that was a great name for a lesbian bar now, you know, all right? And I remember the match was over, and myself and Noel, we'd been drinking now all day. We were drinking the Prosecco and the Mate and all that kind of racket, okay? There was no dada now here. There was no dada. We were going all out, right? And the match was over, and we were in a black taxi, and we were flying through the streets of London, zipping through the streets of London, and all the ambers and oranges and reds and greens, and, you know, we were full of drink, and I don't know, whatever happened anyway, we were holding hands. We just kind of glanced at each other and we started kissing, right? Like we had been 12 years earlier when we'd first gone out with each other, you know, shifting, a good fucking Irish shift. Load of tongue and everything, like, do you know what I mean? Spit and all that racket. Locked, we were locked, you know? And like, I don't know what happened, something came over me and I was like, fucking hell, I just felt full of life and full of just vitality, and I was like, fucking life is for living, like, you know? Life is for living. And you have to do shit, you have to get up and go and do shit and make stuff happen, you know? And I remember the taxi came into Shepherd's Bush, right? And I saw the pub, and if you're ever there, you'll see it, a big, massive green door, big, huge green door, and a taxi outside it pulled off, leaving a space for our taxi to pull in. I was like, God wants this threesome to happen. You know? And our taxi pulled in, right, into that space outside the door, and I took out my wallet, and I tapped to pay, and I stepped out of the car. And I turned to take my wife's hand, but as I turned, I caught her eye, just like I'm catching your eye there now, all right? And I saw, in a tiny amount of time, she didn't want this threesome to happen at all. I could see pain. She was only doing it for me, and me alone. And if she could get out of this situation right now, she would. I saw all that now in half a second. Fuck eyesight. I couldn't believe it. We were so, literally, I could almost touch the door, you know? I could almost touch the door. And I remember looking at the door, and then I remember looking back at Noel. And I said to myself, I'll have one more look at that door. And then I turned around to look at Noel again. And I told the taxi driver to take us back to the hotel. And then Noel said, "Get in there and ride them 2 whores now!" I said, "I won't." "Well, get in there and get my fucking deposit back, so." I said, "They can hold on to the €30. And she was sitting beside me and she was all confused. Right? She was like, "Ah." And all I could feel at that stage was gratitude, right? And it's all about gratitude now. That's what they're saying. Like, everything's about gratitude. You had to be gratitude, you know? But that's what I felt. I was absolutely full of gratitude. I was really grateful, you know? Because if she'd been on my laptop the day before, we'd be off to Thailand. Can you imagine the shit show with the flights for that, like, do you know what I mean? She was beside me, and she was like, "Why? Why? Why? Tell me why. Tell me fucking why. Why? I deserve to know why. Why? Tell me, why?" And I don't know, lads, I genuinely don't know why I said what I said next. It just came out of me. I said, "Babe, a bird in the hand." Thank you very much. That's my show. Good night. God bless. Free Palestine. Good night.